It's time for Down on the Corner with Dale Hoffman, North Arkansas's premier news talk program. Brought to you by Brewed Awakening Coffee, with 3 locations to serve you. Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby, Highway 62 412 at Balmer Boulevard, and the Walmart East Plaza. And now, Down on the Corner.
Good morning, North Central Arkansas and Southern Missouri. It is Wednesday, January 9th, 2019. It is 7 a.m.
A little cooler this morning.
A little
so
cooler
much
this
for
morning.
the nice,
I didn't bring out the
warm,
big coat. I just got the jacket.
Yeah. But so much for the nice 50 degrees when you get up. That was nice, so I'll take it.
Going away. Wait till you see this forecast.
I know, it ain't looking pretty, and I'm going to be on the road all weekend.
Chuckle.
I don't know how well this is going to go.
I think I'd drive a bulldozer.
We're going to be in a bus Saturday, and then I've got to get on the road again.
So you've got to go from here to
Pulaski Academy down by Little Rock, wrestle down there, come back Saturday night, and then I got to drive to Branson. And that way
you coming back here and then to Branson?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. From Little Rock. Oh, don't you love Little Rock?
Well, I don't want to drive all of them. I mean, we got to take a bus down there anyway, so I might as well ride the bus back. And then, I don't know.
We'll get to
weather
that
just got to hold up. That's all I got.
Wait till you see this forecast. It's shaping up. I think this is our first winter storm of the year.
You think?
Yeah. Wait till you see.
We'll
Okay.
see.
Anyway, good morning, everybody. Welcome.
It's just going to be hectic.
Program.
I know that.
You're going to be sweating, aren't you?
It ain't any different. Yesterday, I had, of course, I worked here until I went over to high school wrestling. I wrestled till 5 o'clock there, jumped over to youth wrestling, wrestled till the time my wife called because they're having the basketball game. So my daughter dances in the basketball at halftime.
Yeah, I think Greene County Tech was here last night.
She called when they were in the second quarter. So I ran from the youth back to the high school, watched her dance, and then back over to youth. So it was a fun day.
Oh, yeah. Kids in high school, don't you love it? Anyway, welcome to Down on the Corner program. Dale Hoffman along with Scooter Callis. Hey, I'm enjoying Brewed Awakening Coffee. Hope you're doing the same thing. 3 locations to serve you in Mountain Home. Balmer Boulevard, which at 7:02 is going to be busy here this morning as the kids and teachers and everybody go into the school.
Kids getting all hyped up, and then the teachers got to go through just to keep up with the kids.
Then we got Balmer Boulevard. We got Baxter Regional Medical Center lobby. That is not a drive-through. People have tried it.
He's still in jail.
He's still in jail. And then 62 East Plaza, out by Anytime Fitness. Check out the 3 locations of Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town.
Or come by here and get the maximum strength version. Those cinnamon rolls are awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, those are plate size. Those are man cinnamon rolls.
DeSoto hubcaps, man. I mean, huge.
They are awesome. Yeah. They are good cinnamon rolls.
Check out Brewed Awakening Coffee. 3 locations to serve you. Mike and his gang do a very good job there. All kinds of coffee blends, anything you want in it, mochas, lattes, you name it, they've got it. Brewed Awakening Coffee, the best coffee in town. If you're not drinking Brewed Awakening, just drinking muddy water. And the morning prayer brought to you by Roller Funeral Homes, with all our respect across the state of Arkansas, of course, right here in Mountain Home. That's our guest today, just happened to be Roller Funeral Home. Bruce and Sharlet here, be on here in just a few minutes. We appreciate their service. From experience, I can talk personally. Went through it 2 months ago with my mom. Outstanding professionalism and just utmost respect, caring, loving, the whole bit. Roller Funeral Homes here in Mountain Home and, of course, across the state of Arkansas. And they bring you the morning prayer each and every day. So let's pause now for our morning prayer. Heavenly Father, let's talk about illegal immigration, that is, people coming into our country illegally. It's been an issue for decades. Build a wall or a fence? I don't know. I'm not the expert. But let's think of this. When I travel through Nashville, Tennessee, huge homes have massive walls or fences around them. Motorized gates with digital codes are needed just to get in. Prisons have walls. The Vatican has a wall. Professional sports athletes live in gated communities with walls or fences around property. Why? To keep out potentially dangerous people. Duh. Lord, I pray this issue can be resolved soon. We have to protect our people, yet we need to help those in need. And I pray you give our leaders wisdom to resolve this issue. And that's my prayer today. Amen. Roller Funeral Homes of Arkansas, bring you morning prayer each and every day with all our respect. Roller Funeral Homes.
There we go.
And we'll be talking here with Bruce and Charlotte here in a few minutes.
And now, what we all been waiting for.
We dread
the weather.
Brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. And the special today is...
Today? Do you know what day it is?
I think it's Liver and Onions Day, ain't it?
Well, you got a choice of
Ham and
liver
beans.
onions
Yeah.
or ham and beans. Both come with 2 sides roller cornbread for $6.88.
Yep.
And for breakfast, for those that are out early, we got those breakfast burritos.
Ooh,
I love them.
yeah.
I thought about, and I stopped and grabbed something earlier, and I thought about waiting and getting some burritos later because those burritos are awesome.
They're good.
Ah.
Old Time Restaurant on the Square, Monday through Friday, 7 to 2, Saturday till 11 a.m. Best breakfast, best lunch in town. Old Time Restaurant on the Square. They bring you the morning weather each and every day. Currently, we have 35 degrees in Mountain Home. Harrison checks in at 33. Hardy's at 34. Well, Mountain View is a cold 28. 38, though, in Yellville. 28 at Marshall. 35 at Calico Rock. In St. Louis is 34. Same in Poplar Bluff and Branson. 33 at West Plains. Talked to my son last night, Wofford City, North Dakota. It was very cold up there. Right now it's 7 degrees.
Here shortly, you're going to be able to call him up, and you're going to say, what's your temperature? And he's going to tell you, I don't have one.
Well, they were in the wind
They're
chills of
almost
the
there.
minus digits. You know, like when I was at the dog park with my little dog Pepper. Yesterday it was like 72 degrees, and they're like 7 below with a wind chill.
No,
You can
they can have that. I don't want any part of it.
On the radar, not much going on in the main part of the country. We do have some shower activity in California, and of course in Washington. We've got it in Idaho and Montana. Could be freezing precip once it gets in the higher elevations there in the upper northwest. Shower activity showing up in West Virginia, Ohio, New York, Pennsylvania, on up into the New England area. And doesn't seem to be too heavy. Of course, most of that could be freezing precipitation depending on the temperatures throughout the New England area. Illinois, Missouri, Arkansas, Louisiana seem to be in pretty good shape. Of course, the forecast is calling for that 4-letter word, snow, but we'll get to that here in just a minute. Going to hit that Little Rock stop real quick, the Little Rock radar. Looks like everything's clear at this time. Your highways 62, 412 east and west are clear across the northern part of the state. Highway 65 north-south, Little Rock, Branson. 67, 167, Little Rock, Batesville, Poplar Bluff in good shape. Your interstates 30, 40, 49, 55, 555 in Arkansas look good as well. Not bad.
There you go.
Yep. Checking the Missouri radar stops. We'll go to St. Louis first and check that area in case anybody decides to travel up there. They got a little bit of glitch on the radar today. I-70 Columbia to St. Louis in good shape right there. St. Louis east of Vandalia, Effingham, Illinois. Not bad at all. Interstate 64 from East St. Louis, Illinois to Mount Vernon in good shape. I-44 Rolla, St. Louis, and Interstate 55 coming in from Sykeston and Cape Girardeau on into St. Louis in good shape. You see Interstate 24 coming in at I-57 in southern Illinois. No problems along that route right there. Southwest Missouri checks in as Tulsa, Joplin, Springfield, Lebanon on I-44 in good shape. I-70 Kansas City east towards Columbia. No problems there at all. Wow, just very dry across the region. You don't see the radar much with just the East Coast and the East and the West just with the showers. A lot of times you got the globs in like,
Yeah.
you know, northern part, southern part, something like that, or you got the fronts coming through. But kind of dry across the middle part of the country. 7-day forecast for today, high of 47 degrees with sunshine tonight, low of 22 and clear. Tomorrow, clear skies, 44 degrees. Thursday night, mostly cloudy, a low of 30. You want to do that trumpet again. Here it comes, Friday.
Dun, dun, dun.
There we go, Friday.
Little flat.
We start off with a 30% chance of rain. Then it goes to a 70% chance of rain with a high of 37 degrees. Friday night, an 80% chance of rain mixed with snow. Just depends on where the temperature runs here. They're calling for a low of 31. If it drops a little colder than that, we're in trouble. Friday night into Saturday morning, we have a 60% chance of rain, snow likely, then rain likely with a high of 38 in the afternoon. So Saturday could be rainy, high of about 38 degrees with a 60% chance. It drops to a 20% chance Saturday night, but then we're back up to 39 degrees with mostly cloudy skies on Sunday.
The good news is most of the accumulations have gone away, though, from what they were calling. They were calling for quite a bit earlier, but now I think most of them went away, so I'm not worried about it.
Nah, you'll be fine. You know, most can, I mean, they should, let's say if you're going Little Rock straight to Branson?
Well, back to Mountain Home and then to Branson. But it won't be until late Friday night.
No, you could.
It may be midnight before we get back.
Be careful. Drought monitor for Arkansas, very minor right now. We have 4 counties in Arkansas with just abnormally dry, which is not very severe at all. This will be updated tomorrow by 8 a.m. They do it at 7 a.m. Eastern time, but they take their sweet time about it. Southwest Missouri has 6 counties there with abnormally dry as well. Checking the travel map, Missouri is all clear. You can go to MoDOT and check this out, Missouri Department of Transportation. And where it's green, it's clear, which is a good thing, so be sure to check it. Like, I bet you're going to be on MoDOT and I Drive Arkansas this week looking at that.
I will.
Yeah. I Drive Arkansas. In Arkansas, everything looks like it's in good shape. And on I Drive Arkansas, you can check your border states. Like, Scooter will be going from Arkansas to Missouri, so all he'll have to do is just scroll up here and hit Missouri, and he can see what we just saw on I Drive Arkansas.
And I keep the apps right on my phone
I do
so
too,
I can watch it and know where I'm getting into. And
Yep. Morning weather brought to you by Old Time Restaurant on the Square in Mountain Home. Check out the breakfast and lunch specials today, and so going to be good.
Go by and give Amanda a hard time. She loves it.
Community calendar brought to you by Affordable Housing, 7412883. And tell us about your weekend and what the kids are going to be doing.
Well, we've got actually coming up Thursday, the Mountain Home High School Bombers wrestling team is traveling to Jonesboro.
Mm-hmm.
They will be facing, let me make sure I don't mess this up, Searcy and Little Rock Fair, J.A. Fair.
Oh, wow.
In Jonesboro, so that will be happening on Thursday, and then Friday we'll head out and head over to Pulaski Academy. Well, we got a big tournament all day Saturday down there, and then the youth wrestling team's got a busy weekend. They are headed to Nixa on Saturday for a big tournament up there, and then they're going to turn around on Sunday and go down to Branson for another tournament.
Wow,
so
you guys are going to be busy.
They're going to keep us running one way or another.
The City of Gassville Planning and Zoning Commission will meet Wednesday, January 9th at 4 o'clock. Continued discussion of regulations and updating the zoning map are the only items on the agenda. The meeting will be held inside the Community Center at 201 South School Street and is open to the public. Canteen lunch at Bull Shoals VFW Post 1341 on January 10th from 11 to 1. All guests are welcome. Serving lunch from 11 to 1 at Bull Shoals VFW Post 1341. Menu, Cornish game hens stuffed with cornbread and rice. Mashed potatoes, gravy, veggies, rolled in butter, dine-in or takeout, $6 per person, located at 1206 Central Boulevard in Bull Shoals. And see if there's anything else. Oh, yes, I do have the sports registration. This is for the Hurricane Swim Team, Mountain Home Pilots, Ozark Football Association, Twin Lakes Soccer, Twin Lakes Softball, Twin Lakes Tennis, and Youth Baseball. Registrations will be on Saturday, February 2nd and the 9th. That's a month from now, from 9 to 12 at the Youth Center. If you have any questions about this, call Enoch Pepin, Program Coordinator, at 870-424-7275. Right?
There you go.
I think that covers it all. And so Affordable Housing brings you the community calendar each and every day, 870-741-2883. We got done early, 7:13.
There you go.
I must have missed something.
Bring our guests on.
All right, we're going to take a break, bring our guests on. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant, located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh baby, Chili's is back, baby back, baby back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At VACO Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact VACO Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn & Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn & Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
When I grow up, I want to save lives, like a superhero, and show up when people needed me.
When I grow up, I want to do animations. I want to create characters that can fly.
No matter what it is you want out of life, there is a path to get there.
When I grow up, I don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but I know I want to go to college.
Arkansas State University Mountain Home. Take your first step at asumh.edu.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detail services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care in Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
Why would I?
$7:17, and I've invited Roller Funeral Home of Mountain Home here. Bruce and Charlotte are here and be talking all kinds of good things. And first thing I need to say is thank you for outstanding service. My mother passed away on November 2nd, and the service was at Roller on the 17th of November. And I had so many compliments about how nice that was. I can't say enough thank yous to Roller. And wow, hard time, especially right before Thanksgiving and Christmas, but outstanding.
Roller
outstanding.
Tries to be professional. That's important to us.
Big time, yeah. And even down to showing the pictures, so I put 100 pictures on a flash drive, and well, this picture won't work till you got it going.
Great.
Thank you.
It's
top
outstanding.
So what do we need to talk about today? Well, let me back up. Bob Rechtenwald comes in on Monday Sports, and about, what was it, early or late last year, one of his clients said, they need to talk about pre-planning. So when I called Brad, I said, that's very important. And so...
And it all started because of the way you look at it and how people look at this. You were
well,
one.
We were always saying you don't go out and shop for a funeral home like you do for tires for your car. I mean,
you really do need to. Well, because if you don't, then a loved one's going to have to deal with that on a really bad time in their life. Mm-hmm. And so I think pre-planning is a good idea. It's tough. I mean, it's a tough topic. I don't care how you look at it. You guys deal with it all the time, and for a lot of families it is tough. But
we like to think that the biggest thing about all this is for us is that we want people to understand that it's better to make some arrangements when you're not emotionally really upset. Then you start making decisions that later on you look back and think, gee, I shouldn't have done that. So it works much better when nothing has happened yet. So, and the other thing is, of course, people trying to convince people that this is actually at some point going to happen. It's the guaranteed thing with taxes and also, yes,
Unfortunately,
I think
yes.
so.
Yeah.
So
I think the issue that a lot of people don't think about is, I mean, you plan for a vacation, you plan for college or maybe a wedding that may or may not ever happen. We all know we're going to die.
Yep.
It's going to happen. Being able to make your own arrangements too, when you're thinking clearly, like Bruce said, is not only a wise decision, but a wise financial decision. How many times we've heard after the fact or after a service, why did I do this? Or why didn't I do that? Because they weren't thinking clearly. If they have it prearranged, it just makes it smoother for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
From the funeral director to the family, to the survivors, to anybody.
Yeah. Then there's the financial aspects. Funerals aren't free.
Right. There's different steps, and I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions out there that people don't realize or don't think about. You do not have to prepay your funeral. You can come in, or we can come to you. Bruce and I are both in people's homes almost as much as we're at the funeral home, meeting with families. We can sit down with you, walk you through, get the basic info, the required fields on a death certificate, your next of kin information, those things that you might want mentioned in an obituary that your children, when nobody's thinking clearly, might not remember that are important to you. Just getting that information out of the way is a huge help to the survivors, to the family members. Of course, it's updated at the time of death. We have some folders at the funeral home that have had a prearrangement for 30, 40 years, who knows? And it's always updated, but you do not have to prepay it. You can pre-plan it, you can pick out your merchandise, you can have everything in a file at the funeral home. We give you a workbook kind of thing to take home where you can put your wants, wishes, your desires down. Some people choose to write their own obituary.
Oh, wow.
Bring it in, let us put it in your folder. You can do as little or as much of it as you want to ahead of time.
That's I think the big thing, people believe that if they're going to come in and talk to you about it, that we're going to have to write a check, and it's not required. No, we'll be happy to do it either way. If you wish, however, to pre-plan and pay for it ahead of time, then there are contracts we can write up and make your wishes known, and then you can actually take care of it so your relatives don't have to.
Yeah.
Part of the prepaying aspect that most people don't realize or don't understand is it freezes the cost of today. With technology and medicine, everybody's living longer. So to be able to freeze the prices of today and still get the same services, the same merchandise, we offer, we do two different funding mechanisms. We use a trust-funded mechanism and an insurance-funded program. We offer up to 5-year payment options, that there's no service fees, there's no interest charges, there's nothing added to it. So you're in the driver's seat because you're determining what you're picking is the cost.
Right.
You determine how you want to pay for it. We have affordable plans, usually for anybody can afford something. If you say, hey, I've got $50 a month, that's all I can afford, we can make that work.
Wow.
We'd rather have you have something started and something going as opposed to, I can't afford it, I can't do this. Then unfortunately the death occurs, and then you're not looking at a payment option, you're looking to have a big check all at one time. It's either to spend $50 a month than it is to write that huge check.
That's good to know.
There are also the funding that she mentions that goes in the state of Arkansas Insurance Department, where Rollers pre-need consultants us. They have probably 30, I think, across the state, something like that. We're all licensed insurance agents, and the Insurance Department of Arkansas oversees the funds where these the two funds that she said that are used to put the money in for the pre-need aspects. Now, we can only get the money out certain ways, you know, death certificates, or they have a special form to cancel based on certain requirements and so forth. And then otherwise, the money's there. It's to protect the people and their funds from other states have had issues where, you know, things have happened to those funds. So it's protected here in Arkansas. So,
it is.
Yeah.
That's good.
You're either going to use, I always tell people, you're either going to use it for the locked-in guaranteed prices if you move out of our service area, which is you have to be 50 miles beyond one of our locations, so you're more or less leaving Arkansas. You get every penny that you paid in back. So there's no gamble. You're either going to use it, you're going to get your money back, one way or the other.
You know, see, my grandmother passed away back, I think, in 11, and this is in Butler County, Missouri, southeast Missouri, and they had taken out a policy somewhere around 1951 or 2 for $1,200.
Wow.
So you figure 1951 or 52 to 2011, and the company says, we'll take care of it. They had only paid $1,200, right, but yet the lock-in feature took care of everything.
But
now, I don't know how it happens in Arkansas. Do the laws vary between Arkansas and Missouri and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Every state has different laws.
That's state.
So you have to deal...
Yes, if you move out of the state of Arkansas, then, you know, when you go to a funeral home and you want to make arrangements because you've moved, but you've had something with us, then it's better that the funeral home director there call us and we explain things, what can be done, gets technical, you know, that way. You get it straightened out.
Assured Peace Funeral Plan is the trust-funded mechanism that we use. It is the largest in the state of Arkansas, and it was the first in the state of Arkansas. So the longevity of course, the Roller family has always been there, but of the plans and the companies, the insurance side of the company is Citizens Fidelity Insurance. So if it's an insurance-funded product, it's all in-house, which is kind of another added benefit from the insurance side of the company. Is I'm a fully licensed life insurance agent, so I can sell anything. If you have, sometimes I'll get younger people, you know, 19, 20, that maybe think they want to pre-plan their funeral, which they would fall under the category a lot of times of being more of a life insurance person. If it is, the policy is in-house on the Citizens Fidelity Insurance side, the funeral, if the death occurs, the funerals director is looking at that as immediate cash on hand because it just goes from the insurance side to the funeral home. Whereas if you have an outside insurance company or policy, sometimes policies are assignable, sometimes they're not. So in between the death occurring and somebody getting those funds in hand, somebody's having to write that check or take care of those things out of pocket. So with us having the insurance company and the funeral home working hand in hand, we don't have that delay or that time lapse.
See, I was fortunate with Mom had, I think, MetLife, and it was assignable. And so I had taken a copy to Brad, and he says, well, let me check this out. And he called me back 3 days later and said, everything's taken care of. So, you know, that's a burden lifted right there.
Huge.
Yeah.
It's the choice of the life insurance versus the funeral plan is something that you just, you know, you can discuss it and get, you know, with us, and we'll give you all the options so that it's a decision you need to, you know, decide, make.
And I'm going to elaborate on that a little bit because we deal with this a lot, is a lot of times if somebody's called in with a question, or they come in, and Bruce and I'll hear a lot, well, I don't need to prepay that because I've got life insurance. Well, unfortunately, going back to what I said earlier with longevity, living longer, more and more people are having either a short-term or a long-term stay at a nursing home, assisted living, a care facility. Which if you've dealt with that in your own family, you know how expensive it is. Life savings are depleted very, very quickly. People get to the issue of having to apply for Medicaid or state assistance to help pay the nursing home. In the state of Arkansas currently, unless it's recently changed, you can have $2,000 of cash assets. That's all you can have. Life insurance, if it's whole life, has cash value to it. That cash value in that life insurance counts against you. So I don't know how often, way too often, Bruce and I are dealing with somebody that's come in, mama's in the nursing home, we're out of money, but this life insurance is keeping us from getting Medicaid. Well, so you end up what they call spin down. You have to cash surrender that life insurance policy, roll the cash value into it, into final expenses, which is an allowable asset not counted against you.
So if it's a $100,000 policy, they just lost the option to use that to pay for the funeral.
Right.
Exactly.
Other expenses.
And of course, they don't get, when you cash it in, you don't get $100,000.
You don't get your death
It's
benefit.
whatever's in it. And
the cash value.
What she's saying is that when we apply these funds to these contracts for funerals, we have a couple of different kinds, but they are both
irrevocable.
Irrevocable is the technical term, which means that you can't just call us back in 6 months and say, I want my money back if you're still here. So this protects them from Medicaid saying it's a cash asset, because you can't really get to it. So that's why in Arkansas it's these funeral plans are what they are, very popular.
So. Somebody could, I sold MetLife insurance back in the early 90s, and I have seen whole life policies where a grandfather took it out for, say, $50 a month when the child was born, and by age 21 they could have $50,000-$60,000 in cash value on that life insurance policy.
Yeah,
and you get the option to continue paying in, and that's a great little savings account. But then when the government says, "Whoop," that counts against you for Medicaid. Oh my goodness, I didn't know.
Yeah, it's
the cash value of a whole life. Do they still have universal life policies?
Not so much anymore.
Really, just whole life?
At least that I'm aware of, and I strictly just do life.
No.
So, but now going back to what I was saying in Bruce is, you talk to these people, no, I've got life insurance. Well, I don't know about you, but I would not want my daughter to pay for my funeral, nor would she be in a position at this stage in life that if something happened to mama to be able to write that check. So the pre-planning, actually prepaying, is just a guarantee that no matter what happens down the road from the nursing home, assisted living, even in-home. I've had several lately, I don't know if Bruce has, but people that have been applying to have some sort of home assistance come into the home. Well, they look at the same financial requirements, and one of the things you can do is have your funeral expenses taken care of.
Wow. 7:32, almost 7:33. Roller Funeral Homes here today, talking pre-planning and other good things. Stick around. Be right back.
I recommend Hospice of the Ozarks because I know the people that work there. I know their hearts, and I know that their desire is to help people with the suffering and the anxiety and the things that can come with either a terminal diagnosis or a terminal condition. We want them to have a peace of heart and to have a comfort and to know that someone's there to help them through that so they can enjoy the time that they have.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
When you need durable and comfortable hospital scrub stat, you need the Uniform Shop. The Uniform Shop is the place for top quality uniforms, carrying a great selection of name brands including Carhartt, Cherokee, and Gray's Anatomy, as well as shoes from Clogs, Softwalk, and Landau, stethoscopes from Littman, blood pressure cuffs, scissors, name tag retractable, compression socks, paramedic BDUs, and Rocky boots. The Uniform Shop also offers customizing, embroidery, as well as minor alterations. Let us put you in uniforms. Shop the Uniform Shop.
The Party Spot venue and DJ service. Contact Tammy Reynolds for your next holiday or special event.
Take a step back in time when going to a barbershop meant more than just getting a haircut. Come into Legionnaire's Barbershop today, a unique gentleman barbershop. Get back in style from a former celebrity hairstylist and a licensed barber instructor who are trained in tonsorial arts and lock removal and happy to give you a straight razor shave. Legionnaire's Barbershop is veteran-owned and operated and located at 848 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. For a full, old-fashioned barbershop experience, stop by Legionnaire Barbershop today.
If you want the best...
What are you doing coming back from break so soon? I'm out of coffee.
What do you mean so soon? That's the normal time. We've used up our commercial time already.
We're visiting Bruce and Sharlet here from Roller Funeral Home. And, back in my radio days, Bob Zador would come in and he'd talk about quality of life and things like that. And then we have where people retire here to the northern part of Arkansas and southern Missouri. And we'd always talk around Thanksgiving and Christmas about, and I've seen it in my own family, when we were growing up and my dad and his three brothers say, well, Mom, Dad, what are you going to do when you retire? And then when they retired, well, what are you going to do when you get to this point? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And been there, done that, seen it, went through it with my own parents, And so when is a good time to sit down? Is the holidays a good time, or you just need to have somebody call up and say, hey, look, I'm 87 years old and
what we see mostly is just occurred to us right now is the holidays come up around Thanksgiving until the end of the year. People are not interested in discussing this subject. And I understand it's a holiday, family, everything. Then it's like every other New Year thing and make resolutions. We've got to get this done, got to get that done. So we have quite a few people who contact us in January and February.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know that there's a time or an age. I don't think that there is. I tell each and every person that I have the opportunity to talk about, even if you don't go as far as to contact the funeral home, contact us or funeral home to make the final arrangements, your family, those people around you should know what your wants, wishes, desires are. My daughter's 25. I've told her and my son-in-law, said, you don't have to have it all on paper or maybe in writing, but at least talk and visit about it. One of the worst things, and I know Brad and here and Aaron and all the funeral directors that work with us would say the worst thing that they do is walk into a room and they say, what was grandma's wishes or what was your wife's wishes? And you
they
get
say, we don't know.
You get the deer in the headlight look because nobody bothered to discuss it. whether that's if they want traditional services, they want cremation, do they want above ground burial, do they want to be in our cemetery, do they want to be in a county cemetery, because nobody wants to talk about it. It's going to happen.
Well, let's talk about it here. Cremation versus burial, above or below ground.
We have it available, either way.
Really?
So, yeah. And both of you can do both types of services, and also have either type of burial for either traditional above ground, traditional in ground, or cremation above ground, cremation in ground. Either way. Also, one thing that comes up occasionally for us is veterans benefits. We have quite a few people who come in who believe that there are veterans benefits that are provided by the government for this type of thing, and that's something else that
misconception.
There are certain things. If you're a veteran of military active service, honorable discharge, and there are certain things that you qualify, you can be interred, buried in a military cemetery, a government cemetery at no cost.
Wow.
With a marker. But the services and other things that take place just before having buried there the government does not pay for that. So
interesting.
That's the kind of thing another thing where people need to come in, and it doesn't cost them anything. We'll sit down with them and explain these benefits so they won't be shocked at the time that they thought this and they thought that. So
I could talk to 10 veterans right now, and 8 of them, 9 maybe, might say, "Oh, it doesn't cost me anything. The government's going to take care of me for free." Right. Unfortunately, no. If they are a disabled veteran, there are some additional benefits that we can file for at the time of death. But if you were just in the military for 10 years and you're honorably discharged,
you're on your own.
Very little.
You get a flag.
You get a flag. You can have military honors. Right. Again, if you're going to a national veteran cemetery, right. There are benefits, but from the time the death occurs to get you there, you are looking at an expense.
And the point of this whole conversation, let's get it out in the open before the death occurs, so you know which way to run with it.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
The roller does provide some benefits for a veteran. Financially over,
right.
other individuals. It just depends. Special burial spaces and things like that, where that's a roller benefit. It's not a government thing, So we do that.
So Bruce, you said above ground burial. That's what do they call?
Well, we have mausoleum crypts.
Yeah.
Yes, that's where the casket is placed in there, and that's fine. That we do that, and then they have. Above ground, the technical term is called a niche, where the cremation remains are placed in there also. One of the things that we do with individuals is we want to make sure that they understand that, especially if they choose cremation, that they have to think, do they want a place where mom and dad are? Do they want that? Or as opposed to the scattering thing,
Yeah.
So you need to think about that, and that's become a big choice at the time for cremation. So yeah.
So there are a lot of decisions that we never think about, that on your side of the counter that we have to think about, and it's either before our death or somebody handles it after our death.
When you sit down with family when the death occurs and the funeral director's talking to them, you get these looks like, "Wow, I didn't know that. I never thought of that." So that's why we do it ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Make a better decision about it. Yeah.
Thinking with your head instead of thinking with your heart.
Right.
Yeah. And my boys have asked me. I said, "Look, guys, stuff me in the back of a DeSoto and dump me in a hole somewhere. I mean, I'm dead." It's not.
Unfortunately, they can't do that.
Can't do that.
Yeah. There are laws. Yes. There are laws.
So we got about 2 minutes before we take a break. So you've got your choice above or below ground in the mausoleum. Let's see, they said something when at Mom's funeral, we did because Dad was already buried out here at Rollers, and he passed 23 years ago. There's something that seals.
Certain cemeteries require an outer burial container. Called the vault most of the time. That goes around a casket. Prevents issues with a ground level and things like that with graves over a long period of time. And some cemeteries do not require them. So that's another thing that you need to.
Depends on the moisture below the ground, because like in New Orleans, up
they're above ground down there almost.
They float to the top.
So here, depending on the cemetery rules and so forth, you need to speak. That's another thing you need to decide on ahead of time. What cemetery you want, and does it require this container? It's an extra expense.
So there's a lot to think about, and that's why when I talked to Brad about doing this right after the holidays, and so because I just went through it, and it's not been 2 months yet that I just went through it. But tell you what, there's a lot of thought process. Right. Anyway, 7:45, Roller Funeral Homes here, Charlotte and Bruce, and we got to take another quick break. This time I'm going to get more coffee, so I'll be right back.
If you want the best breakfast or lunch in the Twin Lakes area, then you've got to come to the Old Time Restaurant. Voted the best breakfast and lunch for 2011, the Old Time Restaurant not only gives you the Southern hospitality right when you walk in the door, they also offer scrumptious breakfast options to curb that early morning appetite. Or stop in later in the day for a tasty sandwich, salad, or a daily special. If a sweet tooth is your guilty pleasure, you can't go wrong with the pie lady cooking out over 30 different types of pies. That's the Old Time Restaurant, located on the square in Mountain Home.
Our old burger was only 7 ounces, but now it's 8 with brioche bun and pickles. Comes with its own steak knife, it's really that big. Your best competition is always yourself. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. We're focused on one thing, burgers, ribs, fajitas. Just that one thing, burgers, ribs, and fajitas. We're reeling in our menu because it got out of hand. We had a moment of self-actualization. Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back. Oh, baby, Chili's is back, baby, back, baby, back.
It's that time of year again. Time to take a hard look at your Medicare health plan. If you're looking for a new plan or looking to renew your existing plan, now's the time to renew all your options. At Bacco Insurance, we'll sit down with you and show you all the new choices and options, including $0 premium plans with low copays and dental, vision, and hearing benefits. Let us help take the confusion out of selecting a plan and find one catered to your needs. Contact Bacco Insurance today, located at 351 East 9th Street, Suite B in Mountain Home.
Do you know where your money goes when you give to charity? At the Salvation Army, 85 cents of every dollar stays to help those in need in our local community. Hi, I'm Captain Spaulding. The money we raise help people in the surrounding 5 counties, including Baxter, Marion, Sharp, Izzard, and Fulton. You can help by donating your unwanted items and by shopping at the Salvation Army store. Those in need get assistance with rent, utilities, sending kids to camp, and many other things. When it comes to this charity, the Salvation Army always helps those in our community.
Whether you're a professional lawnscape contractor or a homeowner in need of quality lawn equipment, Moran's Lawn and Garden has you covered. Moran's is the longest originally owned lawn and garden business in Mountain Home, with a 5,700 square foot warehouse packed full of new current year inventory for all your lawn maintenance needs. Moran stocks a full line of factory parts, and they service everything they sell, offering top names like Grasshopper, Hustler, and Country Clipper. Moran stands behind their quality service with thousands of customers using their products daily. Moran's Lawn and Garden, servicing the entire Twin Lakes area.
7:48, continuing our discussion with Bruce and Charlotte here from Roller Funeral Homes. With all our respect, Roller Funeral Homes, and we've got some more things to go through. So, Charlotte, what you got?
Well, what we have, we might mention that Roller has 3 crematories, 2 in Conway, and they have 1 here in Mountain Home. And it was the first crematory in the state of Arkansas, the one in Mountain Home.
Really?
And as we discussed, it's been updated several times. It's not exactly like it was when it started. It's been changed dramatically. We have also, we use that crematory for Roller individuals that we've taken into our care that are several funeral homes here in north central Arkansas that are not the ones Conway doesn't take care of. And basically, all the cremations that we do are done in our crematories. They're not. We don't contract with other people or anything. We take care of it right here. It doesn't leave our facility.
Really?
And let's see, what else were we going to discuss?
I mean, that's, to me, is very important. From the time the death occurs till we've taken that loved one into our care, they're with us until we're returning the cremated remains, ashes, whatever you refer to. There's, like Bruce just said, there's some facilities that contract out for the crematory, so you're never exactly sure what's happened or what's gone on, which we, again, from the time the death occurs till we're returning those, they're in our care.
And so 30 roller funeral homes?
Right.
In 2 states?
Right. Yeah, almost 29 of them in Arkansas itself. And Roller is still a family-owned business.
Yes.
And as well as the Citizens Fidelity Insurance and the 9 cemeteries that they also own.
Really?
And they're, having been a former business owner myself, I can tell you that they are operated as a family business and not as a big, corporation traded on the stock exchange. It's family owned.
And that makes a difference for the people of Arkansas and Tennessee, because with the family business, and I remember when there was a caring spirit. You cared about the people that walked in, just like you do now with Roller.
Yeah, I will say it's a great company to work for. I enjoy it because that's important to them that we do the right thing, take care of people.
Have you been here 10 years yet?
No. 8.5 years.
Oh, 8.5. Okay.
And Sharlet has been with us 18 years, and it's a good company, so we enjoy it. So.
You like wearing the necktie?
Yeah. I like 4:30 or 5.
Bruce actually sold me my very first quart of acrylic enamel paint for a 64 Plymouth when I was in high school.
Yeah, that was a while back.
Then when I had to have the catalyst, acrylic enamel had to have a catalyst.
The new stuff.
And your dad says, "You want a gallon?" I said, "No, that stuff's about $400 a gallon." Remember those days?
Yeah. I'm a slightly different work ethic now. It's a little different.
In regards to the different locations that we have, Bruce and I were talking about this yesterday. From our side, from the pre-arrangement side to the funeral director side, one of the great and the strong points I think about Roller is we're all trained the same way.
Oh, good. Yeah.
So if we had a family that had a friend or something, say they called from Little Rock, said, "Charlotte, you did my mom and dad's pre-arrangements, my aunt and uncle want to do theirs, but they live in Little Rock." I could go down to the Little Rock location and take care of that family, or call one of our people in Little Rock and say, "Hey, I have a family in your area. Could you go out and take care of this for me?" The same side as the funeral director. The paperwork, everything is continuous throughout the company, so something happened, anybody else can walk in and know everything of what needed to be done and taken care of.
One thought just popped in, and you hear about this ever so often. People that move here that have no other family. What happens then?
Okay, those are definitely the ones that need to take care of their arrangements ahead of time. Because of the thoroughness, I guess, is the right word to say, especially if you're wanting to be cremated. Definitely a stronger reason to pre-plan and take care of stuff ahead of time, because someone does have to sign off on that authorization to cremate you. Whether it's a neighbor who you have put in charge of your final affairs, whether it's, whoever it is. We run into that a lot. Years ago, probably 16, 17 years ago, shortly after I started, I had a gentleman, he had no one. His sibling, he had 2 siblings, they were deceased, he absolutely had no one. And he came in and it ended up his attorney, who had drawn a will and everything up, was who was put in charge of stuff.
Wow.
But those are definitely the people that need to take care of stuff ahead of time. Also, part of the information that we fill out ahead of time, which is at no cost, with your next of kin information, we get phone numbers. So, say Bob and Carol are on their way to dinner on Saturday night and both of them were killed in an auto wreck. We give you a card to carry in your wallet that says to contact us. We're notified. We said, okay, we've got Sue and Bobby's phone numbers and they live in Nebraska. So it's just kind of another step to it that is helpful to people. Also, if you've prepaid or even prearranged, we give you this card. Say you've got all your arrangements taken care of here, you're in Dallas, Texas, and your husband dies of a heart attack unexpectedly. You still call your local funeral home. We don't have you call a funeral home where you are. That we step in at that point and oversee and direct the family of what they need to do to either get the loved one back here, if it's cremation, take care of the cremation at that location. They're still dealing with us. They're not having to deal with a funeral home that they've never seen or heard of and probably never would again.
That's an important thing. We tell people that no matter what happens, where it happens, if you want to, arrangements with us, if you have them or you feel we want to do it, call us. One funeral director must oversee everything, regardless of how many funeral homes are involved in this. That way, keeps things working better, much simpler. Yep.
And a lot less expensive.
Right.
Plus, it's because you have certain laws you have to follow in the funeral home business, and it makes it easier on you as a business to follow laws when we do things the right way before we
That's right.
pass.
Yeah.
We're regulated by the FTC with our general price list.
The Trade Commission?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If somebody walks in our door and at the funeral home, they call in and request our prices, or actually they don't even have to bring up the pricing. They can say, how much does a service cost, a cremation cost? That has to, our general price list has to be in your hand before we can answer any of your questions.
That's a law.
That's the law.
I did not know the Federal Trade Commission regulated funeral home costs.
Yeah.
So we're regulated by the FTC. We're also regulated by the Arkansas Insurance Commissioner's Office.
Yeah, and I can see that.
Yeah. So I think we kind of made a little list here.
I
We
see
wanted
that.
to make sure we didn't forget things, and
I think we've got them.
we pretty much covered most of it. The only thing that I think came up we didn't was talked about the cemeteries, the markers in the cemeteries. I think certain cemeteries require certain types, like we do. Or certain parts of our cemetery, other parts you can put anything you want. The veterans thing, they do give a marker. That's
Really?
one of their
Yeah.
benefits, right? Certain kinds of markers. So, but that again is technical, and you have to, you can't just assume it's going to be this kind or that kind. You have to find out.
And you said a magic word, assume. Don't assume that everything's taken care of just because
You're a
of certain.
veteran.
Yeah.
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 We have lots of lists to show people what's going to come up, regardless of whether it's, you think that you want that kind of thing or don't, or we have a list. So, very important.
We got about 2.5, 3 minutes. Final thoughts. What have I overlooked? What do we need to bring? You've done a very good job of bringing some things out like, wow.
Yeah.
Scooter, don't die. It's too expensive.
Well, one thing
die.
we talked about was shopping when we started about that, and that's okay. We encourage people that if you want to compare, that's fine. But it's important that you don't have to spend a day with somebody getting explained, but it's very difficult to just call on the phone and say, how much is this, how much is that, because you need to sit down with someone for 15 or 20 minutes and get the list and have it explained a little better to you.
Exactly.
In person.
To make sure, first of all, that you're comparing an apple to an apple. I mean, you get into caskets. You've got 20 gauge, you've got 18 gauge, you've got stainless steel, you've got copper, you've got bronze, you've got your wood. somebody could walk in and they could be comparing a 20 gauge casket to a copper casket. Well, you're not going to compare an apple to an apple, so it's never going to be a comparison. One of the things too, this is one area we forgot.
One more minute. Okay. Keep going, you're doing fine.
Is with our different locations, if say you're in Mountain Home, but Daddy's in the hospital in Little Rock and the death occurs, we have a sister company down there that can go and take that loved one into their care without having to involve an outside facility or an embalming service or that. So that is one of the other benefits of having the different locations within the state that we have.
Boy, a lot of information here. Have the talk of a lifetime. Roller Funeral Homes across the state right here in Mountain Home, 870-425-2161. Talk to Bruce or Charlotte. You got any comments before we wrap this up there, dude?
No, it's too expensive for me to die, so I'm going to have to stick around.
You're going to be mighty old.
There you go.
Anyway, wraps it up. Thanks for being here. Lots of information. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great day, everybody.